There is such a severe lack of women in Metal Gear Solid 5. You know what would help fix that? Including Eva! We already had a family reunion game in MGS4 with everyone coming back to cameo, so why not let her cameo in MGS5 as well? What's up everybody? My name is Luffy, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I talk video games and character analysis, so if that's your thing, subscribe and stick around. Heads up, this video will have major spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. The man on fire is a guy on fire who's compelled to exact revenge on the ones who caused his demise. Well, demise is an overly heavy word to use because he didn't technically die. Back in Metal Gear Solid 3, Volgin, aka the man on fire, was defeated by Naked Snake and Eva when he tried to grind them into dust under the treads of the Shagohod he was driving. The Shagohod was a mobile nuclear ballistic missile system capable of firing a nuke from anywhere with a 3-mile long runway it can launch from. So, not exactly something you want to leave undestroyed. Eva and Naked Snake managed to destroy most of the Shagohod and injure Volgin in the process, but before they can land the final blow, a lightning bolt beats them to it and fries Volgin. Volgin catches on fire from the lightning bolt, and is also shot 1,000,000 times by the ammo he has strapped to him going off in the fire. Volgin's furious over his defeat and blames Naked Snake, but what about Eva? Eva was just as culpable. If we can even blame either of them for Volgin's death, which I personally don't, I blame the thunderstorm that finally got him and all the bullets he was carrying exploding and shooting him 1,000,000 times. What if Eva was in MGS5 though? How would that have changed things? In the true ending of MGS5, we replay the beginning of the game and see the real big boss saddle up on a motorcycle to leave Venom with Ocelot. Where did he get that motorcycle from? How cool would it have been had it been Eva's? And symbolic too. Eva tells us in Metal Gear Solid 3 that the only time Eva gets off her bike is when she falls in love or falls dead. Her being there to support BB at the start of this complicated operation, and then to give up her bike for him so he can make his getaway on her bike, would have been mind-blowing. Eva could be subtly admitting she'd fallen in love with BB, and she could have been giving up her bike to him so that piece of her could be with him always, watching over him. Or she could have kept her motorcycle and zoomed around Mother Base on it. Or better yet, let us zoom around Mother Base on it. Eva helped bring BB and Venom to that hospital in Cyprus in the first place. She definitely could have shown back up to support 9 years later when it was time for Venom to make her debut. What was she doing otherwise? The only thing I can think that stopped Eva from participating in MGS5 is that by this point, she and Zero have broken BB's trust. In 1972, Eva volunteered to participate in the Les Enfants Terribles, I can't say that, project, I'm sorry. BB was sterile, meaning he couldn't have kids of his own. Zero felt that was a terrible waste of genes, however, and stole a bit of his DNA to make into viable embryos. Eva volunteered to be the surrogate for the project. The project was meant to reproduce BB's soldier genes to make super soldiers that could replace him as the Patriots mascot when he was too old to do it himself, or if he died. The missing ingredient in this plan was BB's consent. He didn't consent for his DNA to be used in this way, and so the project caused a falling out between him and Zero and Eva. This all happened in 1972 though, and by 1974, Eva was still in contact with BB through the cassette tapes she sent him. As mentioned before, in 1975 she brought BB and Venom to a hospital in Cyprus where they could safely recover. If we fast forward to after MGS5 TPP to when we next see Eva in MGS4 in 2014, she's still clearly working towards BB's benefit as she works to steal his body back from the Patriots and free his mind from the nanomachine-induced coma. What was stopping Eva from helping BB out in 1984 with his Phantom project? Ocelot hypnotized himself and Venom into playing along into the plan. He could have hypnotized Eva just as easily. Psych, because I doubt Eva would let Ocelot touch her with a 10-foot pole, let alone get into her mind. Still though, she's a top-notch spy who just as easily could have gone along with the ruse without the hypnotherapy. Was Eva helping BB build Outer Heaven? Was she busy helping Zero with another project? I guess we'll never know since we'll never get a Metal Gear 1 and 2 remake from Kojima. Regardless, here's what they took from us by not including Eva in MGS5. What they took from us by not including Eva. We missed out big time on not being able to use Eva's motorcycle as a vehicle. We get Ocelot's horse. Yeah, I know he was just keeping D-Horse warm for us, so why wouldn't we get Eva's motorcycle as a vehicle? Could you imagine zooming around MGS5's open world on a motorcycle? MGS5 just got instantly cooler. Or could you imagine using Eva's motorcycle to get around Mother Base? A motorcycle would make more sense anyways with how cramped some of the platforms can get in the later game. We chatted about EVA being in MGS5 here on YouTube, and Megajohn suggested EVA could have been an option for exfiltration, just on land instead of in the air like Pequod. They suggested, I can imagine it'd make for a unique scenario where it's cheaper than calling a chopper, but you have to potentially deal with a high-speed chase at the end of some missions. And I absolutely love that idea. How cool would it have been to be in EVA's sidecar, firing at enemy soldiers that are chasing you as you desperately race away from the hot zone? Also, we could have had EVA as a buddy. EVA is a proven field agent who could have used her charms to distract enemy soldiers, or even to convince them to give up key info for your mission. I'd say EVA could have been our Russian language interpreter, but she would have refused to do it like Ocelot. Moving on from what EVA could have done for us, we could have gotten so many interesting character interactions. Now, this is also said in a perfect world. We had characters on base already that we should have gotten some interesting character interactions out of, like Eli and Venom. I wish we'd had gotten more than just Venom beating up Eli from time to time. Kaz and Ocelot, the few times we do get them directly interacting with one another, they're arguing, and it's hilarious.
She's one of the skulls. Hurry up and kill her. No. Killing her would be a waste. Bring her back here. Boss. Boss.
More of that, please. Huey and Eli. It would have been disgusting because Huey has his own son that he's already used in Forsaken, but Huey teaching Eli to repair Sahelanthropus would have given us a glimpse into a rare side to both of these characters, etc. Eva is such a foodie. There's so many people she could have bonded with through food.
In my training, we always got the good stuff. French, Italian, that kind of thing.
In MGS3, she sticks her nose up at all the forest animals Naked Snake has accumulated and is snacking on, but never passes up a chance to scarf down any instant noodle Snake may have on him.
I was hungry, okay? Give me a break. It's just a little packet of noodles.
Eva invites Snake to take her out for sushi once Operation Snake Eater is wrapped up, and that coupled with the food she enjoyed during her training shows what a food lover she is. Could you imagine her trying Kaz's burgers? I bet she'd have a lot to say about his burgers, much like Code Talker did. I bet she'd love the chemical burger too. Or do you think she'd prefer an all-natural, healthy burger? This also would have been the last chance for us to see Eva and Ocelot interact before they go their separate ways in MGS4. We could have learned what they thought of one another now that they're working on the same side. We could have seen if Eva finds Ocelot just as annoying. Eva could have had some really interesting interactions with Eli too. Eli is such a wasted opportunity in MGS5. All Eli is ever used for is to further other characters' plot. Kaz and Ocelot DNA test Eli to see if he really is Liquid Snake, aka Big Boss's son. The test comes back negative though, which furthers the air of mystery around Venom Snake. Is Venom really Big Boss? Or is Eli really not Liquid? Eli also chucks her Bonnie's necklace into a vat of chlorine at some point. Why? I don't know, probably to get attention or as a revenge against one of the kids that peeved him off. Either way, the situation isn't used to further explore Eli as a character, but to further Quiet's character. Quiet jumps into the vat of chlorine to retrieve the necklace, sacrificing her well-being and proving that she does have an affinity for the people of Mother Base. Eva being on Mother Base to interact with Eli could give his character some much-needed focus. Eva dealing with Kaz would be hilarious too. You know he couldn't handle her sass back, not while he's so full of rage. And also, I would have loved to see Eva's reaction to the boss AI in the mammal pod. Eva held a lot of respect for the boss, so I would have loved to have seen if she believed the boss lived on in the pod like Dr. Strangelove did, or if she would have written the boss's AI off as a trick of technology. Last, but not least, can you imagine all the fun interactions we'd have with Eva and Volgan? Eva could distract Volgan from us to draw him away while we fought him like in the good old days of Metal Gear Solid 3. She could set up booby traps like when she put the C3 on the bridge to stop the Shagohod from crossing over to us. Could you imagine having Eva's help during Mission 20 when Volgan chases us around and lights us on fire until Pequod's ready to come and get us? She could have been setting bombs on the water towers for us to shoot and set off when Volgan was in the right position to get drenched. Why wouldn't Eva fit in MGS5? I've seen people refer to Quiet as the Eva of MGS5, and I think that's so reductive to both their characters. Yes, both characters are staged to betray Big Boss, but other than that, they're really different. Eva follows through with betraying BB as she takes what she thinks is the philosopher's legacy back to China. Eva does everything she set out to do, save for assassinating BB. Quiet can't bring herself to betray Big Boss. Quiet rejects her mission and in fact sacrifices herself to keep Big Boss and his PMC safe. And even if they were more similar, Mother Base is definitely big enough to hold the both of them. People have mentioned that Eva is too in love with Big Boss to separate from him to be in MGS5, but the same argument could be made for Ocelot. In MGS3, Eva practically spells out Ocelot's feelings for Naked Snake when they talk about his missing food.
Besides, I think he's got his mind set on someone else right about now.
What?
Figure it out. It was Ocelot.
Ocelot?
He said he wanted to eat the same things you did.
Why would he do that?
You haven't figured it out?
No.
You are dense.
20 years later in MGS5, Ocelot explains Quiet's motivations and his own by saying,
She's in love with the legend.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
Ocelot admits he was in love with BB. His love for BB is what motivated him to hypnotize Venom and himself to go along with the ruse that Venom is BB. So who's to say Eva wouldn't love BB enough to support his plans with Venom Snake too? Venom acting as BB also keeps BB safe, which would motivate anyone who loved him to want to make sure that plan was as successful as possible. Volgin forgetting about Eva's participation in his demise and focusing all his energy on who he perceived to be Big Boss felt like a slap in the face. Without Eva, Volgin would have grinded BB into dust under the Shagohod's treads. What do you think though? Did we miss out on Eva being a part of MGS5? Thank you so much for making it to the end of today's video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. It really helps me out. If you need more MGS content, check out my Patreon. I upload articles I write on upcoming videos or just thought pieces on MGS in general. Or join us in Discord. We're always talking about MGS. More importantly than that though, please take care of yourself and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thank you.